All right, so did you watch Squid Games?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
So in fact, before Squid Game, I used to be crazy about Korean TV series and Korean series, and then I stopped for years.
Yeah.
And then Squid Game came about, and then it went bananas. So then I'm like, you know what? Let's just start watching it. So that was the first series that I've watched in like after 10 years of hiatus.
Oh my God, it's like binging. That would be the best thing to binge to, and then to stop.
Yeah, it was 2
and
days.
then to
Yeah, it was the best. It was just surreal. It's like so many layers to it. It's not
crazy.
It's not just horror or thriller, but there's just so much.
So many different genres, and so many like different intersections of society that make you think like deeply about. Oh wow!
Just like Parasite.
Yeah, just like Parasite.
Yeah.
Parasite. It was like my cousin recommended Parasite, and then it was just amazing how they. I don't know, with Korean drama, don't you feel they really like get the essence of like what it means to be in their situation?
Yes, and I think the one thing that it's funny you said that because my mum just said this last week because she's so into Korean drama. She don't sleep just watching Korean drama.
My mum does the same thing.
And she says one thing that is so right. When we go to Korea and we see Korean speaking, or even wherever here we see Korean speaking, it's exactly the same how they do it in TV. Like how they speak in TV.
Oh, so that means like their dialect and their mannerisms.
Mannerism is just so
natural, and we're not seeing any fakeness or anything, because that's just how they are in real life. And that's why we're so, the world is so enthralled with like Korean.
Because it's authentic.
Yes. And the quality is just amazing.
But I love like even how they kind of express, you know, like people being dirt poor. Like you feel it. Like, you feel like
everything is satirical almost.
Yes. Like you just feel like the grime of it. You feel like you're in there, and it's like you're trying to survive too. Like they really set the scene. So Squid Games has done season 2.
Yeah.
And they were just nominated for Emmy Awards.
Yeah.
And the director said that he was writing up season 2 on an island, which is very fascinating because the hype was season 2 would never come.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that all my friends were saying, that it's very unlikely for a Korean series to have a season 2. So this is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine like the different storylines? Like, what do you reckon would happen if you were like in charge of season 2 of the Squid Games?
Even if it's just another Squid Game with different kind of games, like completely different sets of games, and maybe having one of the character the guy that wants it, like come back somehow, and we pay homage of the old, the season
of like
1.
changing of the guards type thing,
or maybe having him as the
that's what
replacement of the old
guy.
They
totally do that, like spoiler
yeah.
alert, like that's So big disclaimer.
Yes.
If you haven't watched it,
maybe we should put a note that says spoiler. But if you haven't watched it in Squid Game now, where do you live in the world?
Wherever you are, wherever you please. No, but totally, like you would think that they would set it up so that the next cycle is definitely him.
I'd really hope that the police guy don't die.
The police. Which one's the police?
The brother, right? He's the brother of
the one that goes searching on the island. Yeah. There's so many like really good looking Korean actors. And you know what? You don't really like think about like, especially in Australia, you don't really stop and think, wow, they're like hunky, like they are good looking. Yeah. But like we were chatting about BTS. And, like, BTS is another example of, like, where it's like a buffet of just, like, they're so super talented, but then it's like there's, you know, a snack for everyone. Yeah.
It's just so funny with BTS, though. I've never been into them until so recently that I'm so into them that my TikTok is real with just nothing but BTS. My Instagram shorts, YouTube shorts, nothing but BTS. Yeah. I don't know. I'm joining the army so late as they're entering a hiatus because they're going into the army, right?
Yes.
2 years hiatus.
Yes.
Which was interesting because apparently they were talking about having them not having to the army because what they've done is already
That's what I
contributed
was
so
thinking.
much.
I was thinking they
But
would
then
have.
the head of army or whatever, the general, whatever, says not. The men still have to do whatever. So now that's why they're doing the hiatus for 2 years. And they were saying that they're going to make an exception. This is the news recently I saw, that they're going to make an exception for them to still perform.
For the army. Like
Something like that.
Wouldn't you just, like, if you were Korean and you fit the age demographic, wouldn't you be like, okay, sign me up for the army
silly.
so I can watch BTS perform?
Right?
So I can
Like, I feel like
be
that'd be-
bunkies.
You know what? Two things. First of all, that will be such a great motivator for the young generation, I guess, to join the army and support them, whatever. But the second thing is, wouldn't it be so silly to stop their success for 2 years? That'll just kill their career, I feel like.
You reckon? I reckon it will enhance it. I think they're like the OGs of the OGs.
I
and it's
hope
going to be
it
like
does, because
a
in the
break.
past,
Yeah.
when this happens, it killed everyone, anyone. Careers,
Right?
yes.
Yeah. Because
So
I'm thinking like
BTS, maybe they have the power to bring back the army.
yes, the army.
Maybe.
But then like 21, which makes me think 21,
Yes.
the girl band, and then they had a hiatus. But then they recently headlined. I
Yes,
think it was
Coachella.
Yeah, Coachella.
But
Even a
they're
CL,
not
but
come
it's
back. You know what I mean? They're not like they're
It's a
not
comeback,
like,
Adrian. I love that.
It's a comeback for one time, but not comeback
that's
that
true.
will.
Oh, okay, right,
like, you know, like
longevity.
a
Longevity
Yeah.
comeback, like comeback that for you to come back and continue.
Like I feel like it's almost like when you're a kid and you're like, oh, the dog's gone away, but he's going to come back.
Yeah.
It's the same
To
thing.
the farm.
It's like BTS, they're going to come back. But then you kind of think like, oh, even with One Direction, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Like eventually they'll come back, right? They're going to come back.
That was the hope back then, I remember. But I did find it interesting. In like lately, I was listening to a lot of podcasts, and then they were talking about how some groups, a lot of the company agency have a group that have many different nationalities.
Oh,
that
yeah,
speak English.
that rolls in. Yes.
Like the Thai Americans, or
Yeah.
whether it be Hong Kong Americans, or whether it be Chinese Americans, or whether it be whatever American that is. But they speak English really well, but they speak Korean as well as their own language.
Lingual, yeah.
And I found what this company does is they make them so famous, and then they become so famous in the country that they, like Thailand or whatever, and they send them like Lisa or Nikon or whoever, or Bam Bam, and then they make a lot of money in that country, and the agencies still make the cut.
Oh my God, that's
It's like, it's basically branching out. So you're gaining the Thai popularity or population, because you have a Thai member.
That's so clever.
And then, so
because that's what a bit like
got 7.
No, Blackpink. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's what I said, Lisa. Yeah.
Yes, and it's the same with Rose.
Yes.
Like
New Zealand or Australia?
Rose? Yeah, she's Australian.
Jenny is New Zealander.
Jenny's New Zealander.
Yes.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, really like represent for Australia. And like you see her on Tiffany, like Rose on Tiffany ads.
Everywhere.
And like they're just killing it. But
One
it
of them
makes
is about to make a TV series for the first time.
Oh, really?
In Netflix. Oh, HBO. I think it's Jenny. Yeah, it was in the trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's she doing? Like a
One of the characters.
Acting?
It's the maker of Euphoria.
what?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, check
That'll
it
be. Oh yeah, I've got to check it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's just like so much
I know.
time. But I still can't. I think BTS. I'm hoping it's just like going to be vibes where they're going to stay together.
Fingers crossed, armies.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So, what's your addiction level for boba teas?
It's funny. Behind you is an article of me doing bubble tea at Sydney Morning. No, it was the Sun Herald, and literally in there I quoted that my blood is bubble.
It's like everything about you, your DNA cells has like jelly flavor. So how do you take your like what's your ideal?
It's funny. I just recently there was a content creator that made a content that says bubble tea got its name bubble not because of the bobbers, but it's because when you shake it there's bubbles on top.
Oh, yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah, I was like, shout out to Food in a Box. Yes. Yes. They were saying, and they learned that from a boba masterclass with one of the companies, and I find that never knew that. But yes, I love them so much, and I literally have made lists after lists of the best bubble tea there are.
Okay, so my but I shouldn't be speaking because it's like you're the doyen of food. But I have to say, in Eastwood, so in Sydney, there is a place where it's called Black Ball. Have you discovered Black Ball?
So there specializes in Hong Kong desserts.
Yes. And there's something about the balls.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in them, but it's amazing.
So is
Like
it the pearls?
The quality, the quality of the pearls.
Yeah. So it is, my suggestion is go to Sing Fu Tang because they make their bowls themselves as well. Like it's not machine made. Oh, well, it's machine made, but they make it really good. And then they would they caramelize it in this copper wok with brown sugar, and it just is
so it's
next
like
level. And the thing that I love about them is they have all kind of milk. So you can ask almond, you can ask what kind of milk, whatever oat, they have oat milk, they have every milk that you can think of. But yeah, I think it's really important. Sometimes there is some that tastes so machine made.
Yes, some of it.
And
lately.
Places like the one in Eastwood, they would be either handmade them or small batch made them.
Yeah, I think there's something different to it.
Them.
That's why, whenever I go back, I can't find any that meat fresh.
Yeah.
Amazing, the shaped ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is just next level.
Yeah.
So you can taste the quality of it.
But with bubble tea, I think I was just saying earlier that in Burwood, in the 25-meter radius, there are 25 bubble teas in Sydney, Burwood. And the most famous one, there's one called Machi Machi, is my ultimate. And Xing Fu Tang is number 2, I'd say. Or both of them are number 1, I'd say. But Machi Machi is actually either owned or sponsored, or I think it's owned by this super famous Taiwanese singer called Jay Chou.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of this. Yeah, the singer.
So he was the one who was in that movie with Seth Rogen. Remember, there's a Green Hornet. It's a movie called. I think.
Okay, we're gonna.
And then I remember Seth Rogen was telling him, in an interview, I never knew how famous he was until I went to Asia.
Yeah.
And then all the Asians just Cha! But yeah, so he owns Machi Machi, or either owns or partly own whatever.
Yeah.
So and he was here. Or still here now because his wife is Australian.
Yeah.
And then he actually visited Machi Machi. But anyway, Machi Machi is great. You should order the because they're famous for their taro balls.
Yes.
So not the usual balls.
Yeah.
But it's that little tiny sweet potato or taro.
The one that's really chewy. That one. Yeah.
That one's so
good. Oh my god, it's so good. But there's an undercurrent of celebrities who are Korean or Chinese that actually have their businesses here. I remember it being a legit thing, right?
Yeah.
Where they own these franchises that you would never guess.
Yes.
And they've got these massive followings in, overseas in...
I guess there's that Korean barbecue as well that's owned by Kang Ho-dong, which is a famous Korean host as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they used to have a cutout of him, full size, in front of the Korean barbecue. 678 is, I remember the name.
So would that turn you off a place? If you see, if you instantly know that there is someone.
I think in here, it's novelty enough that it wouldn't. But in Asia, in Indonesia, I'm from Indonesia. Yeah. In Indonesia, they do it so much. They throw K-pop in every single bread.
Oh, okay, right.
Almost
it's saturated.
In the mall, in a shopping mall where the food usually on the top floor in the shopping mall.
Yeah.
Literally almost every restaurant will have one of the K-pop or all the groups cutouts in front of them or endorses them or whatever.
Yeah.
And that turned me off a bit. I don't know, it cheapens it.
Would you get a Chris Hemsworth burger? I'm kind of thinking that would be the equivalent of it. I guess they need to align themselves with what they're good at.
They need to do it right.
Yeah, if it's a muscle protein burger, I would want to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They have to do it really
they have to strategically align it.
Not just slap them on top of whatever they're doing.
But I'm such a sucker for anything that's slapped on there. If it's BTS or any Blackpink.
BTS.
See, that's what I mean. It's not different. It's the same. It's you'd be yes.
We have this brand in Indonesia called Gojek, which is this app, a unicorn app. Why I say unicorn is it's the first $1 billion app that is created in Indonesia, $1 billion US. And it apps. What it does is it's like Uber Eats, but it does more because it has Uber Eats. It has Gojek, which is the food. It has GoFood. So Gojek is for a motorcycle will pick you up and drive you wherever you are. GoSend, which is a motorcycle will pick your item up and send it wherever you are. And then GoSpa for sending you a spa. Go manicure, go pedicure, go massage, go whatever. Right? It's massive. It's massive. Go clean, go move, go everything. Like literally, you open the app and there's go everything. The point I'm saying, they pay BTS to do their advertising, right. Like $500 million.
Whoa.
Oh, not 500. Sorry. $5 million, which is a lot of money. Like
that's so much.
Yeah, no, it's a lot
to
of
advertise.
money.
So you're
not
kind
500
of
billion, sorry.
You're like in the kind of business of influencing, and it's very hard to kind of strike out and make deals of your own. Like you said, BTS makes that sponsorship, and that's $5 million.
Yeah.
And where do you get your compass? Like, first of all, how did you kind of start in the TikTok land of things? And did that just snowball where you just had to work it out yourself?
Yeah. Oh, P.S. I'm a TikToker. Yes. Places in Sydney. Check out Places in Sydney. It all came about during COVID, really. And then I listened to Gary Vee, who said that TikTok is the future. And then I'm like, okay, let me see what it's about. And then I get it. Like, it's fun to be on it.
Yeah.
But it was at the period where it was famous for dancing, and I'm not dancer. I don't dance. And then, okay, let me just start recording things that I buy in Asian groceries. That's what I did. So I just went to a bunch of different Asian groceries and highlights what the Asian grocery was offering. And then, but what I did was I went around Sydney to all of the interesting Asian groceries, not the normal one. And then from then, I think I was getting 4,000 or 5,000. 10,000, whatever. And then I started doing food because Burwood is such a mecca for like Chinese food or Asian food, I should say. And in the same 25-meter radius where the bubble tea is the same crazy amount of food in there. And I usually just go around and just highlight all the foods. And then from there, grow to 20, 30, 50. And so I just kept having goals of what my next milestones are. And then I started posting things in Instagram as well, and then Instagram start to grow as well. So it all starts just after the first lockdown.
Right. Right. So it's like not even been, if you were to time cap it, it's like not even coronavirus period.
2 years,
it's very quick. Very quick.
The growth, was very quick, but it's obviously plateaued, and with TikTok, hopefully with more viral content, because I don't know when. I can never guess when I'll get a viral content. It's very difficult to be able to guess that.
So, for all of the YouTube videos and all of the how to get 10 million views from 0 to 1, is that just all marketing? That's kind of not the real deal?
So it's depend on who you are. So I know people who just have Anna Paul, whatever she does, it will be millions. You just have something that captivates the audience. But for Joe Bloke like me, it really has to be the content, and it's even the content sometimes doesn't it's hard. It's just not for everyone. So if you have that X factor, what you say earlier, for social media, it might work. Whatever the video says would probably work, because there is a formula to do well generally on social media, but to do extremely well
it's like next level. It kind of is it like a Hollywood system then? Like you would have, your Kate Blanchetts, your, Sandra Bullocks back in the day, your Brad Pitts, and then you have kind of the B list and then the C list and then the D list? Or do you think through, even consuming hours of YouTube, does everyone stand a shot, or only a few stand a shot?
I'd say, I think everyone has a shot to be at a certain level. But to be the next level, crazy level, you have to have the it, or you have the money to throw it because throwing
because it's currency, right?
Throwing money out there and showing that you've got money will gain you followers.
Oh, right. Like, say if you just somehow...
Just keep going buying Birkins every day. I'm sure people will just start following you for nothing. Like there are like... Or just keep throwing around, like travel around the world.
Oh, I get it. So like if you had enough money to buy like Chanel,
so two
Hermes,
ways, yes. So one way is
you baller, the baller lifestyle.
Or throwing money at agencies to push you. That's the second thing.
Okay.
But if it's you doing it yourself, everyone has the same chance. Everyone has the same chance. It all depends on your content, on your creativity. So I know a content creator recently on Instagram who was at a 20,000 followers for the longest time.
Yeah.
Maybe not even 20,000. I can't remember. We're pretty close. And he started pivoting from doing foodie content like what I do to become more cooking content.
Oh, so it's cooking based.
Blew up. It's only been 3 months and he's already 200,000.
Right, so he's blown up there.
He blew up, yeah.